I'm John.
I'm Rodrigo. How are you?
Pardon?
Rodrigo.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Pick up the podium.
Yeah. Thank you, John, first of all, for the great talk that you had just before our panel discussion. The topic for our panel discussion is unlocking financial freedom. And my guests are Valentin Preobrazhenskiy, Jorge Borges, John Mcafee, and Daisuke Suzuki. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Welcome. Hello. My name is Dushan Spalevich. I will be moderating this panel discussion. I'm active in a blockchain startup space as an investor, partner, member. And I also run a YouTube channel, iBlock TV, dedicated to mainly blockchain startup ecosystem. And I also publish interesting interviews like the interview today with John Mcafee. You could see it soon on our channel. So, coming back to our topic, unlocking financial freedom. First of all, I would like, guys, maybe just briefly introduce yourself.
I'm Valentin Preobrazhenskiy, the CEO and founder of LATOKEN. We are the largest primary and secondary market for new digital assets. So startups fundraise via LATOKEN, and pre-IPO companies' equities is now getting available on LATOKEN, like SpaceX. And our goal is to make money and assets available for everybody worldwide. And this is about the freedom to choose how to invest in yourself by getting access to money, and how to invest into the future of the planet.
Jorge.
Hello, my name is Rodrigo Borges. I'm founder and general manager of Sppyns. Sppyns, it's a marketplace platform where we connect people who want to invest their Bitcoins and trade managers and investment managers around the world who has already established crypto investment strategy. So we work as a marketplace, and our great and more important mission is to connect those guys and make those guys do business in the best way, in a legal and secure and a really modern way to do these crypto investments. One of the difference that we have is our funds, called funds, are just indexed in Bitcoins. So the promise of the platform is to help people to grow the number of the Bitcoins they have.
I'm John McAfee. I'm a troublemaker.
Daisuke.
Oh, done already. Hi, my name is Daisuke. Buenas tardes a todos. I am the business development manager for OKEx, handling the European area. For those of you who don't know OKEx, we are one of the largest, if not the largest, crypto-to-crypto exchange platform in the world. And we have a diverse number of different products, including spot market, futures, and other derivative products. We're proud to say, yesterday we topped the entire crypto market for futures by volume, topping one of our biggest competitors. I won't name any names. Just happy to say that we are the top as of yesterday.
You mean BitMEX, right? Okay, thanks guys, congratulations by the way. So the topic is unlocking financial freedom, and I would like first of all to ask you, to your opinion guys, what is financial freedom first? And second, given that we have to unlock it, what does it mean? That we are not financially free now? Just go by the flow.
Yeah, so this freedom means that people can invest in themselves, in their education, and the technologies they use to solve their tasks, so they start to be more productive, they get more tasks done during their lifetime. That's why their productivity is growing. And they need access to the financial system, to loans and to accounts where they can manage their money and assets. And 3 billion people that do not have access there, mostly because the banking business is not sustainable for them. The banks cannot get loans paid back, so they have too high credit risk there, and the infrastructure cost is too high. And this is all about the legal infrastructure, about rule of law in these countries. So many things are not enforceable at the right cost for the modern financial system working there properly. And Bitcoin comes there, and crypto comes, blockchain comes It solves all of these bureaucracies and enforcement problems with the technology, and it's available via internet for these 3 billion people.
Cool. Jorge, what is financial freedom to you?
I think that financial freedom, it's about access. We really believe in Sppyns that the most important thing that we can do is giving access for opportunities that are not in the market today. For example, talking about investments, if a guy in Thailand that has $2,000-$3,000 wants to invest in some place in Brazil, in some space or real estate in Avenida Paulista in Brazil, this is impossible. Impossible not only because it's hard to do it, but it's impossible because it's very expensive. So the great opportunities in the world in terms of investments are holding by a few number of guys. You can only do these international investments if you can have a lot of money. So the idea about our platform, the idea about what we really believe is the blockchain and the crypto technologies can bring this easiest way to access this kind of information in this kind of investments. So I think that this is one of the great benefits that those technologies can bring to the market.
John, financial freedom, what is it? And why we have to unlock it? Obviously, it's locked. Who locked it, by the way?
I'm sorry?
Who locked our financial freedom?
I've got it. Yes. I'll answer. Okay. Financial freedom fundamentally means that you are in control of the fruits of your labor, no matter, oh, thank you very much, my vodka and coffee. You're in control of the fruits of your labor, meaning if you have a job and you work 8 hours a day diligently and do a good job and you get a paycheck, that you are in charge of that paycheck. That no one gets to come in and take 20% or 30% of it. That no one gets to come in and say you can or cannot do this. That if you want to convert it all to cash and put it in your pocket, which I understand here in Spain, if I have more than 10,000 euros in my pocket, I've broken the law. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Yes. Sure. Is that financial freedom? No, that's the opposite of financial freedom. Meaning you work to create, to build, to support, or to help. And in return, you make an income. Freedom means that's yours now. You want to burn it all? You want to save it all? You want to take it and put it in your pocket? You want to buy booze with it? But you don't have to pay anybody anything. And you don't have to tell anybody what you're doing with it. That's true financial freedom.
It's going to be a tough one to follow that up.
Yeah.
Always.
Let's see if I
Sorry, you want me to sit over here?
yeah, maybe we should switch hands. Let me see if I can come up with something. Your definition quite resonates with what I have to say. I would just add on top of the liberty, I would just add on top of what you've said about the liberty to decide what to do with your own money. Whether to burn it all, put it in your pocket, or give it to somebody.
Yes.
The simple act of giving it to somebody is not something that is altogether as common as we think it is. For example, I'm Japanese Filipino by blood, by nationality. I grew up in the Philippines, where I learned only very recently that only 33% of the entire country has access to a bank account. That means 2 out of every 3 people in the Philippines, they're not free to do whatever they want with their own money as they please.
Yes.
Because
they rely on banks.
So the answer to your question is that yes, in many cases, we do have financial freedom, but in many cases, no. We don't have financial freedom, and there is still something to be solved there.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So to sum up, basically, we can speak about 2 target groups. One target group are the people with bank accounts, probably most people here, and existing banking system can control your payments. They have holidays. Your transaction may travel for a while, days, weeks. They might ask you some additional questions. Why this transaction? To whom? What is the purpose? right? And then we have another target group. They don't even have a bank account. And this technology gives an opportunity, like you mentioned, Philippines, about 30 million people unbanked only in Philippines. But not only Philippines, even in the States, even in the Europe, we have people with not the right passport, and for many, many years they cannot open a simply bank account. So basically we have two target groups. Each of them has their own interest at this point of time. The next question would be, so basically we understand what are the target groups. So how to explain to these target groups what are the possible tools or what is the gate to enter these possibilities, different kind of possibilities to get this freedom, because the market is quite, difficult to understand for someone who is not from this market. So we have Bitcoin, we have privacy coins, we have another coin. So how to explain what are the best tools? What would you say, for example, meeting the guy on the street in Philippines and he doesn't know what to do? What are the tools available today to get this financial freedom? Let's focus not to the institutional investors or investing money. It's just simply entering the space, downloading the wallet, getting the coins, transferring the stuff. What are the best user-friendly tools available today? What would you say? How to explain to someone who is ready? Valentin?
I would put it slightly from different perspective. What is the benefit for them to use it? And then think about the slogans and how to explain to get there. For most of these 2 out of 3 Filipinian persons, it could be little use just to open a wallet and to buy Bitcoin, because they are not likely to be investors into the new financial system. They probably need something different. Maybe they need loans, maybe they need to pay for something. Right?
Maybe they need to receive remittance from their relatives from the US.
Yeah.
Yes. So these use cases, I would think how to get them this zero-fee remittance, right? Or loans which are affordable. And the problems there is about the fiat crypto gateways. They're still pretty expensive unless the P2P market's integrated. And with the loans, there's still no kind of crypto loan banks which you can get at a 10% interest rate, annual rate. I don't know this. There are some bracket cryptocurrency loans, but they depend a lot on the asset. So the person needs assets. But these 2 out of 3 guys, they seem to have very little assets. And one of the solutions to this could be emergence of the new currency which supply can be used to give loans. So it's like issuing future currency worth of future big amount of value and given via loans to these persons, so they can buy seeds to plant them, kind of harvest, sell it via this currency and repay loans, right? And then issuance of this currency via these loans should be managed by some kind of monetary policy, right? So it's like central bank today is issuing currency via loans to banks. So why not to issue a currency which issuance will be regulated by loans to retail persons to their needs? There's still the problem how to enforce this paybacks. So it's just the idea to think, so how to give the biggest value for them. They need money, they need loans. They have little leverage, zero. So potential they can get loans, invest them into the food, education, and get more productive and have future cash flow to repay these loans. And there's bigger locked potential still there.
Well, it's pretty cliche, but the necessity is the mother of the innovation. So one of the cases that I really would like to mention, it's about Dash in Venezuela. I don't know you guys know, but Venezuela is one of the countries that more use Dash. And it's not because they are very modern in terms of the financial system or they are really early adopters of cryptocurrencies. It's because it's one of the closest countries in the world. So as a huge migration occurred over there, and people from Venezuela moved to Brazil and Colombia, and they discovered that the best way to send money to the families that is still in Venezuela is using Dash. So today, just for example, I was talking with some friend from Dash organization, and there are 14,000 shops in Venezuela that are already accepting Dash, because it's the way to keep some money equivalence in terms of the inflation, and of course, it's the way that people that is living out of Venezuela can send money. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the really great benefits that cryptocurrencies can offer. So the best way, in my opinion, to show and to present cryptocurrencies and the benefits of the blockchain for the people is to find the right problem that will really improve their lives. There's no tool without a problem to be solved. So it's hard to talk to an individual who is not in the technology business that, oh, now you can use this new technology to pay your bills and whatever, and say, okay, I use the banks. It's not a bad thing for their perspective, but in some important case, another information in Brazil, we have in the countryside something that's really weird, that there is an industry to hand credit cards. You know what it is? There is a lot of people in poor cities that don't have access to credit cards. So usually you have 2 or 3 shops in this really small village, and the owner of the shops hands his credit card or her credit card to the guys, to the other people, saying, oh, you can buy other things using my credit card on the internet or whatever, and I'm going to take some fee over that. And those guys really enjoy that because they don't have access to the bank. So this is something that blockchain and crypto can solve if you can just point in the pain point. Just say, you're going to save these, you're going to help this in your process. This is the best way, in my opinion, to teach, is to find out the problem and present the solution, just focus, not the big picture, but just pointed on the right problem of the individuals.
John?
Okay. I think that education is our most important tool. But I think we're educating wrongly. What we're educating in is how do you get into cryptocurrency? These are the fundamentals and basics. If you're used to selling anything, and I used to be a salesman when I was in college for everything, vacuum cleaners, you name it, the first thing you have to establish is the need for the product. I mean, and without getting ridiculous, imagine Morgan Freeman, the great actor, with an advertisement going, "Are you tired of paying taxes? Are you tired of your wife looking through the credit cards and finding a bill from the strip club? Are you tired of trying to pay for your drugs with checks?" And I'm sorry, but no, this is the world. You need to understand, okay?
Yeah.
Now, who is not going to answer yes to at least one of those questions? They go, oh, okay, what are you going to tell us? Then you need cryptocurrency. Because without that desire, I don't care what you teach them, they're not going to learn. We need to teach people first what it is they're learning and why. We're selling financial freedom here. And how does that translate into the average life? Well, everybody has secrets, for Christ's sakes. Whether it's from your spouse or from your boss or from the government, everybody hates paying taxes. Everybody wants some privacy. So this is what we have to sell first, people. Not, you need to get into cryptocurrency and here's how. Nobody cares how if they don't know why. Instead go, hey, this is the prize of cryptocurrency. Do you want it or not? Everybody's going to want it. Then we can say, now, how do you do it? Step 1, 2, 3, they're going to be paying attention. They're going to be focused on what it is you're doing. So we have to get more fundamental, not, okay, let's make getting into crypto easier. No. Let's tell them why you're on the out if you're not in crypto. Okay?
Cool.
All right.
Again, tough job, right?
It's hard to be the next.
Again, tough job for you.
I'm ready. John, you were talking about giving people a why, right? So
what?
while you were talking about giving people a why
Yes.
for using cryptocurrency,
Yes,
I
yes.
thought of a specific example, and it touched upon something that I was talking about previously with remittances. So something very, very specific as remittances is it's very easy, in my opinion, to give the why to people from, let's say, the United States trying to send money to the Philippines, to their loved ones.
Yes.
Now, we have existing financial institutions that process these kinds of payments,
Yes.
but these present their own set of problems that
Oh, yes.
everyday people encounter. So very, very simple very, very simple solutions that already exist and are developing at the moment is, okay, give me the cash that you want to send to the Philippines or to whoever else outside, and you can have a FaceTime conversation with them and see your money going to that person in real time.
I love it.
Have them experience it.
I love it.
First time they experience it, it works,
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
Second time, it works, great. Third time should be okay.
Cool. Guys, we have 5 minutes left. Financial freedom, cryptocurrencies, native characteristics of the cryptocurrencies are freedom. I cannot just avoid this question is, do you think that the governments will try to get a little bit of our freedom back to them with KYC, AML, CFTC, Csizmar, and you can name the list of all the regulations. And as John is mentioned during the speech, the privacy coins, do you think that they will play a significant role in order to keep our freedom still with ourselves? And what will be the coexistence of privacy coins and regulated cryptocurrencies, let it be government-backed cryptocurrencies, corporate-issued cryptocurrencies, or regulated Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies? So, and what is next in this story? Regulation or development of the situation here. So, will they try to get back, to take away from us this freedom? Who will go?
Yes, if the governments wouldn't do this, they will have free rider problems. So there will be beneficial strategy to avoid taxes, to do many things which is supposed for the government to prevent. That's why the regulation will come, and I think exchanges, they are moving to this, and they already implement KYC, AML, and so on, and work with tax authorities. And I would put the blockchain as just another technology, which is designed to make less bureaucratic problems, and sometimes it also helps to make transactions transparent, and which is helpful for tax authorities as well. So I wouldn't put Bitcoin as something which is a way to avoid the existing regulation. No, it's to avoid existing bureaucracies, not regulations.
Okay, Jorge?
Wow, it's a war of power. We know that in human history, all the power and control was not given for granted. It's taken. So I believe that in some point, the humanity or the governments or the whole society, we're going to have to find some place to put every tool, because we believe in the freedom. We believe that the cryptocurrency can bring us a lot of different aspects and benefits, but we have to be aware that something bad can be used, can be done using cryptocurrency. So I really think that in some point, as all the issues that humanity have already solved, we're going to have to sit in a table and say, okay, this is good for this is good for that, and we have to find out some place to put the right tools. It's not easy. It's a $1 million or $1 trillion question, but for sure, these new technologies will help to forge something different that we have today.
Wow. What a question.
The question was,
I was announced only 2 hours, I think, before I showed up. The reason for that is I am wanted by the U.S. government, both by the Securities and Exchange Commission and by the IRS, because I'm talking out like I am here saying, you don't have to pay taxes. You don't have to obey regulations. So this is the end product of anybody who is going to actually promote the truth of cryptocurrency. We're going to have problems down the road. There is no question. Governments are just not going to sit idly by. However, there are people like me. Number one, nobody here knows where I live. In fact, I'm not sure where I live. My wife knows. We're moving constantly. We were indicted in January on false charges from the IRS. I haven't paid taxes in 8 years. I've made no secret of it. The government didn't care until 2 years ago when I started saying what I'm saying here. Free yourself from the control of government. Well, as soon as I started talking about that, the indictments started coming. You know, we want you for this, we want you for that. They just want to shut me up. Now, I'm not suggesting anybody do what I'm doing. I mean, I'm 74. I have a young wife who's very tolerant, and she lets me drag her all over the world running from governments. But if you intend to do the same thing, you'd better be prepared to abandon your lifestyle and go on the run. So it's really clear that we're in a showdown. I mean, people like myself standing on the front lines. I mean, look at, good God, Roger Ver and the founder of Skycoin, they can't, in China, they can't travel to America. You're going to get collected and shut up. So this is our situation. I mean, if you think we're not at war, it's only because you're not on the front lines. You're not hearing the bombs dropping around me constantly. But eventually it will reach everybody. And again, you know, you're going to have to make a decision. Are you going to stand up for yourself and your family and the ones you love, or not? But you have to make this choice at some point.
Okay. So, I'm fourth, so I sometimes I even forget what the question was originally. I'll be perfectly honest with you.
Seat place decision, and one of the most important things in the kind of conversation, right?
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's see how it goes. Just correct me midway if I falter. So we're talking about prospects for the government to reduce some of the freedoms.
Yeah, and the role of the privacy coins. The guys kind of avoided this part of the question, but you have the opportunity to tackle it.
Correct. Look, we talk a lot about maximizing our full freedoms and, you know, fight against the government's oppression. Sure, there's that stance, and I'm not here to make a contrarian argument against it. Just want to remind everybody that governments put laws in place to promote order among society. So they promote, they create laws and norms that are here to prevent people from doing things that are not that are against society, what we agree upon as a society. John's looking at me as if I said something wrong.
No, not at all. I'm going to raise my hand after you've finished, however, and ask if I can speak. No, you're not doing anything wrong, dude.
But yes, so we do have to understand that because we're dealing with something that's so new and so foreign to everybody involved, including governments, we do have to take sometimes an understanding stance when governments decide or come to certain conclusions that are one way or another. What's important, I believe, is to promote and continue the dialogue so that we can all come to an understanding as to what makes sense of how to use cryptocurrencies to further enhance everybody's freedoms without unnecessarily putting in danger the livelihoods of the very people that our laws are designed to protect.
Okay.
And
Just briefly, I'm
Please, John,
sorry,
yeah.
because you brought up an excellent point. You said, if I may paraphrase, governments create laws to create order in society. May I paraphrase? In an ideal world, governments create laws to create order in society. We are not living in an ideal world. We're living in a world of massively corrupt governments. Why are they corrupt? They're fucking powerful. The United States for 50 years has been banging on the world. They have all the bombs, they have all the guns, they have all the planes, they have all the submarines. That's why. That much power creates of itself corruption. And if you look at the laws that are truly being passed and you go, what? That's a strange law. If you dig into it, it's not to create order in society, it's to create money for a friend of Congress, whether it be Apple or IBM or what have you. This is the reality. I mean, true, in an ideal world, this is what governments do. And for the first 50 years of the US government, that's what it did. But it became corrupt. And I don't know a government in this world which does not have some degree of corruption. Please, God, don't buy the rationale for don't use crypto because it will create disorder in society. Fuck that. See the truth of your government. And I'm not denying what you're saying.
I think we're in agreement.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah, I just want to
Wait,
please,
you
Borges.
say
said
something
good.
that freedom is a very complex and fluid concept. And now we are in the Western world. Everyone in this city has some level of social security and everything related to that. But when you think about some parts of the world, freedom is to have food. Freedom is to have clothes. Freedom is to have a doctor. So one of the things that I think that's most important for us is to think that how can I help not only us, that we are in certain social level, but how can we help those guys that liberty is to have food, is to have something really basic in your lives. That's the one of the things that always, every day, I think, because it's important to solve and to create some freedom concept for our standing point.
And
But
to reduce inequality in the world.
Yeah, but more than that, it's hard to explain about Bitcoin and about blockchain for somebody who's fighting for food. Yeah. They don't care. Freedom. I need food first. So this is something important, in my opinion, at least, when we're talking about freedom, that we can create freedom in different ways for everyone in the world, if possible.
Yeah, and John just mentioned this problem of corruption. And you mentioned this problem of basic needs for people. And what they need, even before money, is their human rights, right? So their property rights, their rights to trade, and they need some rules, right? So, and these rules are created mostly by governments, and governments are controlled via elections. And if something is broken there, then there is no rule of law, there is a rule of power. Yeah? Those who has more power, he has more rights, and then he has even more power, and so on.
Yes.
And by the way, blockchain is helpful there. So if we have time for a 2-minute video to kind of show how this political thing can...
Organizers, we have 2 minutes for the video,
or we can do it on break, right? Or today.
After the break?
Okay, it's not about capital markets, it's more about freedom. So let's do it on a break, or now it's you decide.
Whatever organizers say.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, try to show this Dorothy video, right?
Okay, meanwhile, we can discuss, I don't know, about libertarian ideas. You know, the guys, they are proposing the society without the government. The free markets should create basically everything, including the money. So that money shouldn't be created or top-down by the government.
Oh, maybe, so we show it now or on the break? What you...
Okay, organizers, show it now or on the break?
You are the master of this
I don't hear. I just need yes,
anyway, it
now,
doesn't make
no.
sense to show without the sound.
You know that sometimes freedom is not a good
Okay,
stuff.
let's delay it, okay? We need sound for it and probably
Okay,
put
guys,
it
meanwhile
on
we set it up.
the break.
Maybe the break. Thank you, Barcelona. Muchas gracias. Es muy bueno estar aquí.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you, my guests.